Did you notice when you stopped using the internet and it started using you? You pick up your phone for just a minute, and the next thing you know, hours have vanished, time has dissolved, and you've absorbed all the carnage online while you were completely zoned out. Doom scrolling. The algorithm serves you up the endless, unwanted wars that kill thousands of innocent people and cost trillions. You rage at the corruption, the injustice, the two-tier policing, and the laws that protect the attacker instead of the victim. Your anger spikes at the injustice of hard-working people being crushed by the cost of living and sky-high taxes, while the politicians and their donors benefit from the chaos and continue to get richer. Scrolling is turned into a game of Russian roulette. 1 minute you're fine, just chilling, and the next you're raging, anxious, or completely numbed out. Your nervous system and subconscious has recorded every part of it and turned your body into a chemical slot machine, and you're losing every pull. The engineered dopamine spikes that keep you hooked, the cortisol dumps that keep you stressed, the constant barrage of doom and gloom that fuels your adrenaline and keeps you in fight or flight mode 24/7. When we're in fight or flight, the vagus nerve takes a backseat, and the sympathetic nervous system takes over. Your heart races, adrenaline surges, blood pressure jumps, muscles tense, pupils dilate, and your body thinks it's waiting for a predator that never shows up. The body is wired for protection in fight or flight mode, which is okay in short, sharp bursts. Like you see a lion, you run away and survive. Then, once you're safe, you can chill and recover from the experience. This is when rest and digest, the parasympathetic nervous system takes back over. The vagus nerve kicks back in and slows everything down. But you don't get to decide what your nervous system rates as a threat anymore. The system decides. And the worst part about all this is, it's not just the algorithm and the tech giants that want you trapped in a constant state of fight or flight 24/7. There's something that's much older, way darker, and much more powerful driving it. The ancients wrote about them. Secret societies know about them. Old occult writings stretching back thousands of years all described the exact same thing, but they didn't call them algorithms. They called them egregores. An egregore is a sentient, invisible entity created and sustained by mass human emotion, obsession, and worship, until it becomes strong enough to take the driver's seat. Google will tell you an egregore is a non-physical, autonomous thought form or psychic entity created by the shared beliefs, emotions, and focused attention of a group of people. So, every time you rage at a headline, every time you doom scroll the same crisis, every time you hit share on that "can you believe this" post, you're not just venting. You're powering up and donating your emotional energy to invisible, dark, demonic forces. And right now, in 2026, we're probably inside the biggest, fastest, most powerful egregore humanity has ever created. In 1985, a guy called Robert Monroe gave the emotional energy consumed by the egregores a name, and called it Loosh. Monroe founded the Monroe Institute in 1971 and created the Gateway program to teach people practical techniques for navigating non-physical states of consciousness. He also developed HemiSync, an audio technology using binaural beats and layered sound patterns designed to synchronize the brain's hemispheres and facilitate deep, altered states. The CIA caught wind of Monroe's work and sent their agents straight to his Monroe Institute to snoop around. But why the hell would they care, right? Because if Monroe was right, and consciousness could truly expand, then remote viewing enemy bases, beaming thoughts into heads, and launching psychic warfare from a chair is the perfect invisible weapon. The declassified CIA files prove they took it very seriously. And so did the ancient civilizations. The Egyptians, the Hindus, the Tibetans, and shamans across continents were treating out-of-body travel and non-local consciousness as real for thousands of years. They saw them as doorways, not just to other realms, but to living spiritual entities sustained by the collective power of human consciousness and intention. In other words, the Egregores. So every time the algorithm shoves another war clip, injustice thumbnail, or elite win headline down your throat, and you feel that familiar gut twist, remember, once you see your phone as a Loosh straw disguised as entertainment, the whole "why does everything feel deliberately fucked" puzzle starts snapping together real quick. You hear people referring to "they" every day. They lied about history. They want to keep us broke and divided. They control the media, the financial systems, the politicians, the courts, the whole lot. But who the hell are they? In 1995, a guy called Fritz Springmeier self-published a book called Bloodlines of the Illuminati, which ended up on the CIA's public library site after being seized in a raid. Make of that what you will. In the book, it lists 13 generational family bloodlines: Rothschild, Rockefeller, DuPont, Astor, Bundy, Collins, Freeman, Kennedy, Lee, Onassis, Russell, Van Dyne, and a mysterious 13th Merovingian line. Springmeier claims these as the core Illuminati, or what he describes as the satanic elite of the world. These 13 families didn't build their empire alone, of course. They've spent centuries recruiting a vast network of power-hungry, morally bankrupt souls that include the elite, the royals, bankers, Hollywood stars, musicians, and countless others. And they're all still willingly worshiping and kneeling before the same dark, ancient forces today. They're not worshiping these demonic forces just because they love them. Oh no. They're soul-bound to them because they've made a deal. A deal that they have to feed these entities a constant stream of manipulated, coherent human suffering, soul-crushing terror, divide, and mass despair. And in return, the entities they worshipped would give them what they craved above all else: unimaginable wealth, absolute power, and protection from the karmic backlash of their own evil horrors they unleashed on the world. That's exactly why your feed is deliberately flooded with pure psychological poison that you willingly drink every day. The entire system is built to harvest your Loosh in real time, stealing your attention and draining every last drop of emotional energy out of you until you're left in utter spiritual exhaustion. Because a drained, weak, reactive population is far easier to control. Allegedly, of course. A window into their sick world cracked open when the Epstein files dropped. A lot of people actually thought, finally, the elite PDFs are going to get dragged into the light and held accountable for what they'd done. And what's happened so far? Fucking nowhere near enough, that's what. Epstein conveniently unsubscribed himself, allegedly, in prison, while the cameras were off and the guards were asleep. And Maxwell, well, we don't even know if it's really her sitting in a cell. And meanwhile, the rest of their sick little club just denied, and denied. A couple of them got arrested. A couple of them got hauled in for a closed-door deposition. And Bill Gates is scheduled for a closed-door, transcribed interview with the House Oversight Committee on June 10th. But as yet, not a single high-profile name from that list has seen real justice. The banks that managed Epstein's accounts haven't been criminally charged with any serious crimes for moving hundreds of millions in suspicious money. They got civil settlements and a couple of regulatory slaps on the wrist instead, which in the real world means they wrote big checks and said, "Sorry, our bad," without admitting they knowingly helped to commit horrific crimes. No bank executives went to jail, and no bank was criminally prosecuted. They all denied wrongdoing, paid the money, and moved on. Meanwhile, if one of us regular peasants tries to withdraw our own hard-earned cash from a bank, we have to beg and go through an interrogation to try and get it. They're playing a game that's driven by financial greed absolute power and control, and ancient dark forces. We're just the pieces on the board. When you're awake in the game, it's obvious to see. But if you're still asleep, forget what I said, stop the video, and go touch some grass. Either way, remember this. The most valuable thing you will ever own is your attention. Every algorithm is coded to capture it, to hijack it, and to steal your emotional energy to fuel their machine. Because you're not a victim in this game, you're a battery, and you get to decide where your energy goes. Everything I've shared in this video is my own wild, unfiltered opinion. Just one dude connecting dots in the dark and ranting about what it looks like from where I'm sitting. Some of the events I mentioned are part of the public record. But how I connect them, the patterns I see, and the bigger picture I'm painting, that's all my own take. None of this is legal, financial, medical, or spiritual advice. It's all allegedly, and purely for entertainment purposes. Thanks for watching. Drop a comment below if you're done playing their game, so I know you're out there. Take what resonates. Leave the rest. See you in the next one. Peace.